Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalram, and I decided to try something different for today's video. I decided to see if I can record with all three monitors. Now, because I have NVIDIA and a graphics card that can support it and three monitors, I was able to set up some kind of a janky setup to make this work, sort of. So, I decided to just record it for the day. Let me know guys if you want to see videos like this in the future. It was a little bit weird because I actually had to look to the left and to the right to see my buffs, to the left to see the map. It was actually a little bit interesting of a setup. Definitely not the best for competitive PvP, but something fun to do once in a while. The best way to enjoy this video is probably full screen with as highest resolution as you can get it to go without having to buffer. So enjoy the video, sit back, and let's talk a little bit about some of the changes happening to rogues. As you saw by the title, there are changes happening to Assassination, but what I want to talk about primarily is Assassination. But let's also cover the changes that are happening in 7.1 in patch 20. Actually, this doesn't even have a patch name. I'm so used to saying patch certain name like 7.15 or 7.2. But this is just some upcoming class and PvP tunings on February 21st. The way I got around to seeing this post is I saw a tweet from Census where he posted about the devs making the forum post on these changes, and there are a lot of changes happening to a bunch of classes. I am surprised, and I want to point this out in particular, and I'll have the links for everything down in the description below so you guys can follow with the video. Druid Restoration Druid's ability of Nourish is actually getting specific changes, as in they're changing its cast time within like 0.1 seconds. Like it goes from 0.2 to 0.02 in terms of reduction. There is some kind of a effect that is added to regrowth, and like they're going into details into spells, and that's where I'm really happy, because I think changing stats of agility and stamina for every single class is not enough. You have to go into the nitty-gritty. You have to change some abilities. You have to change some versatility, some haste. Blizzard actually went as far as change certain casts of spells. So this is very exciting. I'm kind of very happy to see that kind of change from Blizzard. What they've done to Assassination Rogues is a different story, which we'll talk in a second. One of the coolest changes that patch on 21st brings: changes to survival hunters, marksmen, and beast mastery. Make it survival a bit less beefy in terms of your caltrops damage. Buffing marksman and beast mastery to be viable for PvP, or hopefully be viable. Changes to enhancement shaman to make him a little bit stronger. Changes to arms void to make it a little bit stronger, and some warlock changes to hopefully bring him a little bit, especially for destruction. But that's everything that I can see that's noteworthy. So if you're playing any of these classes alts, you might want to check them out in detail. But now let's talk a bit about rogues. The rogue specific changes are: they fixed the bug that caused Deadly Brew additional free wound poison, the poison that comes in with Deadly Brew effect, to increase the damage of a Kingsbane. So up until now, apparently wound poison, the extra effect from it, was increasing Kingsbane damage a little bit too high, and we had no idea. Poison bomb damage has been reduced by 30% in PvP, which is kind of lame. Then we have wound poison healing reduction effect has been reduced to 20%. I'm pretty sure it was 30 in past. So the healing reduced to 20%, and it's 24% if you select Master Poisoner, which buffs the effectiveness of your poisons. So I guess for most of us it's like a 6% loss, more or less, a 10% loss, I think, just on average. Also, the PvP template agility has been reduced by 5%. So what this tells me is Assassination is getting nerfed. It's not going to be terrible nerfs, but they are going to be a little bit annoying. What I liked about Poison Bomb and its bursty damage is the fact that Assassination, for the most part, doesn't really have much burst until you have Vendetta and your artifact weapon together. That's where you really do feel the pressure, or make the enemies feel the pressure. So the random damage from Poison Bomb and the fact that it was intense amounts of damage kind of allowed me to just have some RNG, like random damage coming out. It was great for AoE to zone people out when it did proc. And it was great if you could line up some kind of a stun or a slow and keep the enemies in there for as long as possible. So having that nerfed, I guess, makes sense because it was a little hard hitting, but it is going to be a little bit not as fun, because when it does proc, it's just not going to hit as hard. On top of it, 5% agility nerf also makes it a little bit weaker, and the 5% agility nerf basically will mean your dots and your spread pressure just won't be quite as powerful. You being able to train the target as hard as you did before just won't be quite as powerful, and you being able to zone people out and zerg them and burst them as quickly as you did before just will be slightly reduced. It basically will be able to burst people down like you were able to in the past, but it's just, I feel like the burst for Assassination is probably what they're trying to nerf, although I feel like they could have just nerfed specific abilities for it. The wound poison nerf I don't really understand, because I don't think any other class got that change at all. The only way I can see the justification for the wound poison is because Thug Cleave with Assassination and Survival Hunter when you're stacking the healing reduction on top of one another, that's 30 plus 30, so that's like 60% healing reduction. That would be strong. But I'm not sure if it stacks. That's 100% where I'm just not quite sure. I don't know if it stacks. The only other thoughts I have on this is probably they changed it because Assassination in RMD is a little bit too strong in terms of its healing reduction that it brings on top of the mage damage, on top of the Assassination rogue damage. So for some of you guys, this is going to be kind of a deal breaker. In layman's terms, this is basically going to mean that your Assassination rogue might be hitting a little bit less harder. Your healers might be able to heal over a good chunk of your damage a little bit easier. Your burst should stay consistent though. Your burst shouldn't change that much. So Vendetta Artifact Weapon still is going to be a powerful setup, but it is going to be weird for anybody who just casual plays the game, which is majority of people. If you're somebody who is going to be pushing some serious rating, I think it's going to be time to take a look at subtlety and maybe rethink. Maybe there'll be some options to play subtlety from now on, because it is a powerful spec that still deals the same amounts of damage. Didn't get any changes done to this. You are losing the wound poison effect, but you are getting a lot more CC. So I feel like it'll be a fair trade-off if you're somebody who tries to min-max your game. But I think that's it, everything that I have for you guys. Let me know anything, and let me know everything in the comments below. What do you think about the Assassination rogue changes? If you want to voice your thoughts on the changes, go to the link in the description below and voice them, because it will take you straight to the forum post. Let me know what you think about the video format, if this is something you want to see in the future, maybe for some random battlegrounds, or maybe specific events happening in World of Warcraft, and I'll be happy to record them in this kind of fashion, because this is kind of a fun and interesting look at the game. But I think this is everything I have for you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope everybody's having a good day, and I hope the news that'll be hitting us Tuesday, so it hasn't happened yet, but at least will be changes that'll hit on 21st. Hope none of these changes dulled your day, and hopefully you guys are having a good one. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.